time, good evening to all of you. And if you don't mind, if you would just stand with us for a word of prayer, and after that, we will ask you to join us in the Pledge of Allegiance. At this time, let us have a word of prayer. Father God, we are grateful for your many blessings, and we thank you continually for all that you've done for us and all that you continue to do for us. We pray mightily for the town of Whiteville. We pray for all of our elected officials and all of our citizens. And Lord, we ask you just to continue to bless us. And we're praying mightily for Brother Jimmy Robinson. And we pray that you just nurse him back to health, and he might be able to return with us. And now we ask that you would just be with us in this meeting and let everything we do be done to bring you glory. This we ask in the name of Jesus. Amen. Amen. If you would join us in a pledge to allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Thank you. All right, we will get started. Andy, if you give us our roll call.
Austin Holmes. Here. Deborah Burkin. Here. Ernest Purdle. Here. Tommy Turner.
Present.
Jesse Giles.
Present.
Jimmy Robinson, absent. The September 11th, 2023 meeting was called to order by Mayor Jimmy Bowden at 6:30 p.m. Board members, Council Roll were Austin Holmes, Deborah Burkin, Ernest Purdle, Tommy Turner, Jesse Giles, Jimmy Robinson, absent. A motion was made by Jesse Giles to approve the minutes as read, second, Tommy Turner. Communications from the mayor, comments of the citizens were given. Old business, no action was taken. New business, a motion was made by Jesse Giles to scrap wastewater autoclave that is broken and to donate a composite sampler influent or a composite sampler influent, second, Ernest Purdle. Motion carried. Other business, a motion was made by Deborah Burkin to approve the utility adjustments of $93.83 and charge-offs of $521.24. Second, Tommy Turner. Motion carried. Reports from officers, staff, and board members were given. Having no other business to come before the board, a motion was made by Tommy Turner to adjourn. Second, Jesse Giles.
All right, you've heard the reading of our minutes from our last meeting. Are there any comments as it relates to those minutes?
Here, on these minutes, do you, well, we pay our bills and stuff, do you do those? All I saw was just the utility charge-offs. Am I missing it
Actually, it should have been on there.
Ma'am.
That was omitted?
somewhere? Okay.
That's an omission? Okay.
I will have that, noted.
Okay. Anything else? Okay. All right, well, at this time, we will entertain a motion to approve our minutes from our last meeting with that one omission of being added.
I move that we approve the minutes from the last meeting. As read.
Okay. All right, the motion has been made and met with a second that we approve our minutes from our last meeting with that one omission being added. All those in favor, let it be known by the sign of aye. Aye. Those opposed? Okay, motion carries. Okay, now then. The agenda call for comments from, well, we have communication for the mayor. My communication on this evening would be, I'd like to just kind of clear up what we talked about at our last meeting when we were talking about our roads. I want our citizens to feel like we're gonna be able to do that immediately. We're working diligently to acquire, some, grant monies where we'll be able to get our streets paved. And so, you know, we know it won't be taking place immediately, but I just ask the citizens to be patient with us as we work toward, securing the funding that we need, some grant funding and that we will need in order to get our streets paved here in the town. I just wanted to mention that.
I understand that too, but, like right now, like if a big hole or something comes in there, are y'all, putting dirt and gravel or something in it to kind of pack it
We'll
down
be able
before
to
we
do some
asphalt?
patchwork as, yes,
Yeah.
where there are some, you know, big potholes or something.
Okay,
But, the big job of paving will not be able to take place immediately. I just wanted to just kind of clear that up. All right, will there be any comments from any of our citizens at this time? Yes? Yes, you don't mind? Yes.
My name is Chris Williams. I'm a Fairleigh resident. I've been here for about 16 months. I'm a hospice nurse. I work days and nights. I work out of town. I just go wherever I'm needed. Tuesday, I left home at 6:30 a.m. I went to Jackson. I did not return until 10:30 Tuesday night, only to find my water had been turned off. Needless to say, I was not happy. I went directly to my office. I pulled a bill. I did not have a bill for September. I had a bill for every other month. I've been paid. I get it that day. I write a check. I drop it in the box across the street the next day. I've never been late on a bill in my life. The bill was not due until the 26th. They turned it off the 27th without any notice. Nobody came by my house and put a little tag on it or anything, and I am not happy about that.
Okay.
That cost me $100 to get my water turned back on because they failed to send me a bill. And I understand that you outsource your billing, is that correct?
That's right.
So, that's just wrong. You don't get any forewarning. You know, if I'd have gotten a bill, I said, okay, I forgot to pay this, but I didn't get a bill. And I know we're all human, we all make mistakes. But it should take more than one day, especially when you're holding a deposit on us. It should take more than one day to get that water turned off. And then there should be some kind of notice on that. What is the protocol for that?
And do you want to speak to that?
Actually, the bill is not due on the 25th, it's due on the 1st of each month. When you, sign your contract, it says on your bill, if you, when you sign up, it says on the paperwork, you are responsible for contacting City Hall if you do not receive your bill. A lot of people think it's due on the 25th, it is not. It's due the 1st of the month. You get an additional 15 days and the late penalty goes on after that, cause it's late. And
Or
then
how many
the
days
25th,
are you supposed to get before they turn it off?
the 25th is the last day. It's due the 1st of the month. You have an additional 15 days after that. And it's been like, it's not anything new. This is the
Well,
way
they
it's
didn't
been.
give me 15 days.
Well, if it was after the 25th, they did, cause it's due the 1st of the month. But usually, and I didn't
So
know
it was
about
due the
it.
1st of September? Cause I had just paid the previous one, like the 25th or 26th of August.
Yes, ma'am, it's due the 1st of the month.
But how do you know what to pay if you don't have a bill?
You just call and ask if you haven't seen one. Usually now I wasn't aware, cause usually
That's
if
too
it's
much
the
sugar
first
for a
time-
nickel, let me tell you.
Well, I didn't get a bill with many of the citizens, and we don't know why, what happened in the mail, but many of us didn't get a bill.
Well, y'all need to address this with your billing source. They are not doing their job, and it's costing me time and money. And it would have cost me not being able to see a patient that was dying. If I get a call in the middle of the night, I need to get up and wash my face and use the bathroom, whatever. And I could not have made that call because I could not have performed the hygiene I needed to perform before going to see a patient. And another thing, I'm sure there's a lot of elderly in this community that are on oxygen. And you may not know it, but those oxygen concentrators require water. If you don't put water in them, they're not doing their job completely. So that's another thing about this cutting it off so quickly like that.
It wasn't quickly, the 25th is
It's
a
late
long way
if it's the
from the
25th.
first of the month.
Okay, I don't
So-
understand. I've
so
always
get
got
your-
a bill, I write a check, I drop it off. What's, do we need?
You can do a, like I do mine
You can
through,
set up.
my banking. I mean, I just sign up.
I was not aware I could do auto
You can
pay.
go,
set
go over there and
There is auto pay available.
automatically on the 15th it comes out.
And what's the website?
You can do it, you can come to City Hall and sign up, cause I know we contacted you several times about setting
About my
up-
water bill?
About setting up for auto pay,
No, ma'am, you've not contacted me about
it's
auto
not
pay.
you, but we have a form that you complete where we can do a bank draft, you can bring a voided check and sign it, and we will get you set up.
I'll be able to do it tomorrow.
And it just comes out on the 15th.
Nobody has ever.
And if the
No matter what.
15th falls on a weird day, we don't take it early, we take it late.
Okay. So, auto pay. Okay, the sewer construction,
Mhm.
we were promised checks for that, I never received a check. I'm not worried about it, but I think it's bad practice for government to promise you something and not deliver. The cones for the construction are still out there, people are having to stop in the middle of the road to let other people by and come around, can somebody come pick up?
That's
the
because some or the kids are constantly moving here. They're gonna stay out there until that construction project is completed. There was a delay in it because of some equipment they had to bring
I didn't
in.
see anything, anyway. Do y'all have a grant writer on your staff?
We are in the process of putting one on. We are working on that now,
Actually, too.
yeah. So we're working on that.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right, I will see you tomorrow for set up of auto pay.
All right, thank you, Ms. Wade. Will there be anyone else?
I think y'all mostly know me.
Yes, Mrs. Pittman.
Donna Penner.
Okay.
And usually I'm here to make compliments and just keep up with what's going on, but I'm concerned about Bass Street. Bass Street has vegetation that grows out over the road, and people swerve around out of their lane when they're heading from Main Street to the highway, and it's a main corridor for that connection. The vegetation on the west side of the street is not cut clean and clear. And if you don't pull out into the street, your vehicle gets scratched by those trees and those limbs. If you do pull out into the street, you're pulling into the right of way of the other side of the street. And that side of the street has a hunk of pavement at least as big as this podium missing at a critical point where someone's mailbox is, right across the street from that very first house. If you turn onto Bass off of Main, the very first new house, I believe it's the Harris houses, across the street from it is a huge hunk of pavement just taken out of the road. And when people are trying to swerve to miss the trees, you know, people go off and bump that, you can see it's been hit over and over and over. So I would like to ask that someone take responsibility for clearing the vegetation on Bass Street so that you can freely pass down that street without pulling out to get away from being hit by the bushes and the trees on the side. So,
Okay.
and have another thing. Over here, where you see the closed signs, the one on the east side is usually the open sign where we pay our bills. And probably none of you pay your bills there. Some of y'all probably pay inside. But if you go through the drive-through, just shortly after, you finish paying and finish getting out from under the little awning, there's practically no pavement there. It's dirt and gravel, and when it rains, which it hasn't in a long time, but when it rains, it's a nasty mess. And it's right behind the water pump building, is that what you call that building? Have any of you driven that way?
I know it's a big issue.
Well, there's just no pavement there, the pavement ends, and it's gravel and dirt and a big mud hole when there's water.
Yeah, I didn't say it.
So if you're patching places, I would request that be one of the number one places that gets some work, because, there are frequently trucks and equipment out there, you know, because they're working on the water plant frequently. Well, it's just hard to know where to go when you're pulling through to make your payment. And y'all just drive right through and see for yourself, so,
All right.
thank you.
Anyone else? Yes.
I have a question that I didn't really get an answer concerning my water bill. My water bill went from $17 to $20 for about 7 months. And then it went to $202. So I had someone to come out and look at it, and was told there was a meter surge. They say there was a meter surge on several days. Most of them was more towards the weekend, which I'm not even at home on the weekend. The time is the same time every day, 11:07. Most of the time at 11:07, I'm in church. And the meter surge would be 240 some odd gallons of water plus
Ma'am, ask what address are you at?
100 JT Hunt Lane. They come down, they looked at it. I said, it's not a water leak on my side. It was water leaking, but it was on the city side. And there was nothing wet in my yard, nothing wet under my yard. And they couldn't tell me what the surge was. Okay, for several months, $17 to $20. Then all of a sudden, $200 to $2. Then the next month back down to $23. Nobody could tell me the word of meter surge. They said, well, the meter surge, but we don't see where the water went. Well, I didn't see where the water went either, because it didn't go in my house, it didn't go out of my house. But nobody could tell me where it went. So I would just like to know what went on that month.
What did the map say?
Our supervisor normally prints it out.
Yeah, they even gave me a printout. They gave me a printout to show me
He did?
where.
Yeah, and
They say the water was surging, that's what I'm saying. How was there a meter surging? Most of the time, the days that they said it was surging, I wasn't home.
it could be
What?
as simple as somebody leaving something running, or it could be anything. But
Nobody in the house with me. Nobody in the house with me.
And it went from 23.
They went from $17 to $20 for several months.
You don't have no leak, no
No
water.
leaks, but no.
Everything dry, okay.
Everything was dry. They even come out there, and I stood out there in what you call, in my socks. Yeah, for sure.
With no leak.
No leak.
And you didn't do any repairs, no nothing,
No,
and then the
no,
next month was
nothing.
$20.
Next month is back $23.
Sounds like a faulty
As
meter.
far as the meter,
well, they
He
checked
checked
the
the meter,
meter.
right?
They checked.
That's one of the
They
first
said
things they
they
did.
checked. And it was still, but where did it go? But it's surge. That don't mean anything to me. I don't understand what is a surge if you can't find no leak.
you had to do something with it.
It had to, that's what I said. It had to go somewhere.
Let the meter run.
But that's all they told me. It was surge. With no explanation of where they say, we know it's surge, but we can't see where it went. Well, you can't see where it went, and I can't see where it went. Why did I get charged for it? And your bill was $202, no so bad. I had got this little grant, and I had a $44 plus. It took the little $44 and then added $150 some more dollars to it.
And it's any kind of way the meter could be bad, you know,
Yeah.
and sometimes it shows,
Sometimes it don't.
But was it
They have
bad?
a way to check.
It don't straighten itself out, do
No, we have a way of checking the meters.
Right.
Yeah.
See, but then I don't understand the very next month, it went back down to normal.
No.
Yeah, could be
See,
bad.
Could you have left something running and turned it off when you got back?
I don't know what they mean by surgeon either.
That, I
Is
understand.
it, is it the,
The usage.
The use.
Yeah.
Water-
It is what they call it, surgeon, not
It's
the
being used,
mechanical.
water's being used.
Yeah, not the mechanical.
No.
but-
But from my understanding, it's been a lot of that going on lately in the town of Whiteville with the water bill. People's bills have been jumping up and down, or is inaccurate.
Well,
You get a $40 bill and it jumps up to
I
90.
haven't, heard of that. You know, people their bills vary because they're using more at given times.
Yeah, but you're looking at jumping from
it?
$30 and $40 to $100 and
Oh,
$50.
yeah,
That's what I'm
that's how
talking
it
about.
is.
$17,
Yeah,
$20,
that's-
$200.
And I haven't heard of anybody having such a big increase.
Mhm.
I don't look like
They
that.
even gave me a printout from May up until the other month.
So that time,
Those times, it had surgeons, or what they said was surgeons, but it was like
so during that time,
80 and 60 and something like that, and then it went from 80 and 60 surgeons to $2,800 surgeons or whatever gallons or
and
whatever.
nothing out of the ordinary had happened there during that time frame. Okay.
I ain't made no repairs during that month, I did the same thing I was doing. And it went from 17, I'm telling you, from 17 to $20 a month. Which like I say, the little grant that I got paid the bill up until then. And then I got out and $44 and gave me $250. And I hadn't paid my bills and I don't know when, cause it was so cheap, $17 a month, $20, that money lasted a long way. And then I had a $44 credit. And then there was the giant surge that took the whole $44 plus $156 money that I didn't have. I had to go borrow that money. Yeah, you gotta pay it, or it gonna cut the water off. But please, somebody tell me what's the stage.
Yeah.
You standing out here in my yard on dry ground. Ain't no water on my side. Ain't no leaks under my house. Ain't no leaks in my house. Ain't nothing changed. $202. Then I come up and check on the next month to make sure it's not still going on. Oh, it's back down to normal. It's $23. I'm like, what?
It gotta be something wrong.
Well, there's something going on during that time.
Yeah.
I don't know about, so
Cause you lose that much water, you gonna see water running
Everywhere.
everywhere down the
Not
road.
necessarily.
Yeah.
We've had several cases where you don't see the water,
don't see it.
people have had to dig.
But we're,
I mean, you're not gonna see
So it's
it.
not
Yes.
far, then
If-
bog it down.
all of us, you remember Miss Annie talking about this very same thing?
Yeah.
Not being able to find some water leaks and end up it's way down
Yeah.
somewhere. And they only discovered where that was going, when they began to dig. So,
But but in her case, I don't understand
I don't
how they
either.
automatically corrected her skid
Corrected
cell.
it.
yeah, I don't
I
get
don't
that either.
understand that.
But if it's
So that's
been a
why,
leak,
something
It's still
during
been a
that,
leak unless you had it fixed, somebody had it fixed, cause once it started leaking, it
it ain't gonna fix itself.
fix itself,
So-
right?
Can we possibly just put her another meter in?
Need another
I
meter.
mean,
Yeah.
we
Well, if
can,
they can check it.
we'll check it and check it again and then keep monitoring it.
What about her, that bill though?
Yeah. Can we adjust it?
Was it this month?
that was last month.
That was the
You already
September
paid
meeting.
it.
I already
September.
paid.
If this has been ignored.
But then my bill that I paid just passed paid was
So she got one?
$23.
Yeah, that's what Noah's on.
You get an adjustment on the sewer.
Yeah, that's unusual.
Who the witnesses? Who's the one?
Well, it's calculated in the whole fee, the water and the sewer.
So you
Well,
adjust it?
You gotta do something.
Yeah.
We'll-
We need to work out something where, because of those that kind of water, then it straightens itself out and
Then go back to.
It's gotta be
go
something.
back, yeah.
Something's done.
We
Something
call
else
it,
that meter.
if it's been a
Listen,
leak,
I
then it's been still leaking.
Let's say I got a water guy over there to check it again and continue to monitor.
I would appreciate it.
All right.
That kind of, throw me for a little bit.
I know it did, it
Yeah.
wouldn't make sense.
What the heck? I thought I was gonna have $24 more for another month.
Yeah.
You'll dig us more.
Yes, ma'am.
Who is the head of public utilities for the town of Whiteville?
His name is Lopez Shaw.
He's over public utilities, but he's not over water.
Wow.
He's not, yeah, he's just in charge of the utilities, streets and all that. The other person's in charge of our water and sewer. His name is Matt Harris, Matthew Harris. Matt's on vacation, otherwise he would be here, tonight.
Yeah, we need to find out what's going
Yeah,
on. We don't want to have nobody else.
I
Yeah.
know, and
A lot of people can't afford it. They go
Yeah,
$200.
and I get that, I get that. Okay. Anyone else? Any citizen have anything else? Okay, all right. Okay. So we're down to old business. The Allen extension. We had, Mr. Josh Post look into that, as being a street, is that right, Alan?
Well, one is working.
Well, okay. So, okay, oh, I know, we're talking about the, this at the Allen extension, that,
Yeah,
Street,
right there between, Country Drive and, the wood
Yeah.
lot.
yeah, yeah. But what was the, go ahead, finding on that.
You know, they, did research, they had to pull these, and it was very unclear. So I added it to the road list, for when we get a grant, because the post office had one different thing, they have something else, and he literally could not say that the town of Whiteville owns that street at all. And they're the ones that keep the deeds and stuff at the assessor's office because of how the description was clear.
So,
So they're not gonna pick up, do anything to it?
she added it to us. she said.
No,
She added
no,
it to
no,
us.
no, he's just
I'm
trying to
saying-
figure out whether it is the property of the town or not.
Private property.
Our list of streets
It's
to
private
be
property,
paid.
You can't be.
it can't be no private property.
Well, in one of the cases, like over here where Mr. Bud Price lives,
Yeah.
that
That
from
road,
there all the way in is their drive.
Private
It's-
drive.
it's private
so
drive.
that's what they
But they're
said,
saying Allen Extended is the
Mhm.
same way,
Private
all
drive.
that was a private drive is what they're saying. But check with 911, they have it listed as Allen Extended, cause I can answer calls over there.
But
It's Allen
he's
Extended.
And he's checked with them at the assessor's
Josh
office.
did,
So
He did
he's-
talk with him.
mm-hmm. Yeah,
Yeah, but they did check, so, and they're looking at the actual deeds, so that's what they were going by.
okay. So we'll
I mean, it's just gonna be up to you guys if you want to, I mean, add it to the list
I
of
mean,
repairs.
You need to add it to the.
yeah,
list.
yeah, we're gonna add it.
They
I think
pay
we need
city
to add
tax
it.
and everything,
Them-
you got
yeah,
city water on them and city sewer.
yeah, so how you
So
not
what,
gonna,
yeah.
so how you not
So
gonna
that's
do
why we got it on the agenda,
Yeah.
so we
Yeah.
can put it before you to make a decision on
it?
that.
Yeah. Okay.
So anybody wanna put that in the form of a motion so we can,
Yeah, I move that we add the Allen extension to our list. Yeah, okay.
all right? Okay, the motion's been made, met with a second that we, go ahead and add, Allen Extension on to our city streets. So let, all those in favor, let it be known by the sign of aye.
Uh-huh.
Those opposed? Okay, motion carried. Okay, Municipal Code of Ethics Administrator, first reading. If you have an opportunity to look at that, y'all. I'm sorry.
Do you remember it was in your packet
Oh, that
last
was in there,
week?
that's, yeah, so this is actually,
This is the second.
No,
No,
it's
first
actually the
time
first.
you, were to kind of think about who you wanted,
Mhm.
so Mary, if you can
Yeah,
give your suggestion.
we have, I've suggested that we ask, what's his name? Stephen Stanley to represent us as our person for that road, a municipal code of ethics administrator. This is something new, that the state is having each, municipality do now. Of course, all elected officials, we have to do our own, code of ethics each year. But now they want someone appointed within each municipality to be an administrator of code of ethics, and so.
Okay. What is this person's title? Who is he, what kind of position does he hold?
He will be the administrator of the code of ethics for the town of Whiteville.
What do he do? I mean.
Well, he will,
I mean, municipal codes.
Yeah.
No, I'm saying, what does he do that qualify him for you to?
he doesn't have to have any specific qualifications, but he does need to be familiar with code of ethics. And Stanley is, familiar with, code of ethics much as we are, because we fill out that paperwork every year.
Yeah.
The one we do every year.
Right, as elected officials, you have to do this yearly. But then, when someone come to him with, a question about whether code of ethics are being met, then he would be able to answer that questions according to, yes, ma'am.
Is this code of ethics, is that something that we can pick up at City Hall and read? Is that available to the public?
It's, you will go on the state website,
Yeah.
and
Comes from the state of
the
Tennessee.
state of Tennessee webpage will be available on there.
It's a book, it's about that thick.
The do's and don'ts.
It is, the news and notes.
Get it done in this area.
Yeah. Okay. So, what action is needed on this, okay, so, I've given y'all my recommendations, so what do you guys?
So you need us to make them?
Yes.
I move that we, in light of you, in light of you recommending it, we make a motion that we go ahead and stand.
I second.
All right, so the motion been made, and that was the second, that we, allow Mr. Stanley to be our municipal code of ethics administrator. All those in favor, let it be known by the sign of aye.
Aye.
And those opposed, the same. Okay, motion carried. Okay. Okay, condemned properties.
Alderman Giles was concerned about it, at one of the meetings, so just wanna follow up that our building code inspector, he does have the addresses and everything, and he is preparing letters. There are some buildings that had already been, condemned. So those, if you give us time to look at those first, because, our public works supervisor said can do some of the smaller buildings, but still we would have to look at the cost, so keep in mind, we may have to put it on another budget if it is too much to do, or just a little bit at a time, so you have to be patient on those that haven't complied in like 20 years, and those buildings that's got the sign still on them, those are the ones we're talking about first. And then if the city can do it, we'll put a lien on it to recuperate all of the funds that were spent, to get it done. But if you be patient and let us make sure we have, enough, or if we can get a grant to take care of it, but let us
How many are we looking at that's already condemned? I mean, already got the signs up. I know the list to be repaired was very long.
Some of them have been taken care of,
But a lot
But how
of
many do we have left? You, any idea?
I think,
I know a few of them, the condemned signs
Yeah, the
that we had
sign.
on, they've been taken off.
Well, they still, that doesn't
we
change
know
their
which
status.
property they
We
are.
know what that status is, and that changes their.
We caught, I mean, how much longer is this gonna take? Is it-
Well,
Like I
listen,
said,
it's
we have to.
I know
look
it's a
at-
process.
it's a lot of money associated with taking down a condemned house.
Yeah.
You can't, you go in there, you knock it down, and then it's got to be hauled off
And see,
and
if-
cleaned up. Especially if you talk about old houses, you gotta make, it has to go to a certain place, because it may contain asbestos and some other. Well, they can't do that. So it's, yeah, it ain't like in those days where you dig a hole and bury
Burn
it.
down to the fire department.
Yeah.
looking for,
The EPA would be on us so quickly.
They cost us over $10,000 to get your mama.
Well, yeah, I know, so it's a lot of money associated with it, and we can try to recoup some of that, by putting a lien on it, you know,
Yeah.
property against the property owner.
so you just give us a little bit of time to make sure we get all of that.
Do you know if that old Masonic Lodge building, is that on the list?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, it
I
is.
think so.
Now, they were trying to, Mr. Evelyn Robinson was, getting in touch with the, Masonic Lodge
See
out of,
what they wanna do with it.
out of Somerville, I believe.
Mm.
Trying to, ask them what they were gonna do with it, you know, and if they, just give it to us, then we'd be in charge of knocking it down and hauling it off. But of course, that's gonna be costly.
Yeah, very.
Yeah, and it's, yeah. So, condemned houses.
Can we have an update then by next board meeting?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
All right. Okay. Utility bill rate study.
Just wanna follow up with you, let you know that, remember Miss Annie and Robert Kelly? We had a meeting with them, and they are working on the information, but, it's time consuming. So, if we could just be a little bit more patient, but it's being worked on.
All right. Sewer. CDBG.
Matthew's not here to speak on it, but
Yeah.
we are waiting on, we're still waiting on part supplies to come in. That, we can't, we're just waiting on it.
And that, go ahead, Ms. Weeks.
What is the status for the completion of that new line that y'all put in? When?
That's what it's
Well,
about.
that's what we're talking about right now. Yes, and then the
We have
delay,
it till October of 2024.
yes, we certainly don't, we hope it won't be that long.
And the reason that the extension was put in because of the time that it's taken to get supplies. That's why it was extended. Something that they have no control over.
What percentage of it is completed?
That I don't know,
Do we know what percentage of it is?
you know.
I don't think we're halfway.
I don't even think it's half.
But it seems like we've been waiting for 2 months,
Yeah.
correct?
Yeah.
Well, I thought Matthew
Yeah.
said they said we get close, so.
We're getting.
It's been a
For
while.
us getting closer, having the stuff, still hadn't received it
Yeah,
So it's not funds, it's parts that they're waiting on?
yet. Yeah.
right, it's parts.
Where is that line?
Right down the side of my yard.
It's several places, over off of, what is that, Bard Street and all the way across your property. And it's coming across, Martin Luther King. And then work will be eventually done up,
Is that going all the way
All
up
the
to
way to Main.
64?
well, Main Street, some of it will, because we'll have to have some more, manholes built. all of those were allowing water, rainwater to, get into it, so it's a big undertaking, it's a big operation. But yeah, that's the holdup right now is, the lack of supplies of
Well,
necessary.
they almost destroyed Boyd Street because the big truck and trailer that brought the heavy equipment out there, they had to lower it so much, the speed bumps, they just took those with them.
Yeah. You see
I
that
know.
with it right now.
Yeah,
And we need those speed bumps out there.
oh, they will be replaced,
Yeah.
okay. So that's where we are with the sewer, CDBG. Okay, the Tennessee Housing Grant,
We have the grant, the paperwork printed, our attorneys are reviewing it. So the only other thing is the environmental study, and we can set our community, meeting.
okay. So, yeah, we receive the contract, and then we wait for the study, right?
Yes,
And then after that, we can have
We have a meeting.
the public meeting.
yes, ma'am.
Mhm.
Who is the city attorney?
It is Nathan Pride, Pride Attorneys out of Jackson.
What does the housing grant consist of?
It will allow people to apply for, houses that, if they qualify, to be rehabbed or in some cases, completely rebuilt.
Like they did with Dad's house.
So is that like a low interest
At my
loan?
dad's house.
Yes, well, it's not a loan.
My
Not a
daddy's
loan.
house.
It's a
Where they
grant.
tore it down,
It's
built
a
them up.
grant.
One bedroom house.
From Tennessee House and Development. And so, but it's for 500,000.
Per individual?
No.
No,
No.
No, maybe 30,000 here and 20,000 there.
So that's why, you have to meet certain criteria to even
Well,
qualify.
that's why I was just gonna, what are the criteria?
Well, I mean, you can go to their,
Low income.
yeah, low income, but, they're,
How are you informing the people that would, benefit from that grant and so that they're
once-
aware of it and they can utilize it?
yeah, that's what we're gonna do. But before we have it, we have
You gotta
to,
mention the study.
all these things have to be done, you have to have the contract, and the contract has to be signed, then they have to do the study.
Yes, sir.
And then we'll be allowed to have a public meeting and let folks know that they can
They're
apply.
gonna pay for new water meters?
Are they gonna pay? Well, yeah, they will. For those people who will get the new houses,
Is it only gonna be for the city of Whiteville?
for the town, yes.
So if you're not in the city.
City limit, you
you're
cannot,
not gonna
right.
be eligible.
But that doesn't
Right.
mean you can't apply for a grant through Hardin County, because they do have those available.
Same thing through Hardin County.
Okay,
Apply through the USDA.
all right. New business? Letter from Comptroller's Office on any funds.
So after, doing this rate study, Robert Kelly has been communicating with the comptroller. And so they're recommending that, the government, nothing wrong with that, but just separating certain funds going forward. Like we have our water and sewer together. Now, in the budget system, it's mostly broken down, but as far as like checking accounts, it's all in one fund, so they are advising us, going forward, just go on and completely separate, which is how it's done, but, smaller cities have been allowed to keep some funds together, but they're just recommending that we go on and separate, just different ones and
This would be the creation of another account.
which would be.
It used to be separated anyway, wasn't it? A long time ago, when the water and the sewer and everything separated. I thought it was. Probably separate.
It's already been given.
Maybe it was separate on the bill, but I guess it's still separate on the bill.
Is all the electricity provided to Whiteville done through South?
Southwest. It's our provider.
My store is on, Boulder Electric.
Oh, yeah, you're one of those rare cases, yeah.
That side of the highway.
You're supposed to-
I know, it's
Southwest.
That side of the highway.
I was just saying, I pay
Yeah.
city taxes and I pay the DEA.
Yeah. Well, we get water,
They probably-
town of Whiteville, we get electric from Southwest, and we get gas from Baldwin. Go figure. But, well, we're not gonna bring it up
Those
again.
lines are like-
Uh, Okay, so that's really just, that's why,
Well, yeah, it's on.
yeah, so anyway, the separation of the water and sewer funds, so.
Does that mean we're gonna do two separate bills now?
No,
that's not
It's
what
gonna stay the
we're
same.
talking about.
The separation in terms of how we,
Funds.
keep the funds.
Oh.
There's gotta be another account. Yeah, so that's what they
You need a vote on that?
That's what the comptroller's office has recommended.
Make a motion that we separate the water and sewer funds.
Second.
All right, the motion's been made and met with a second that we do as the comptroller's office has recommended and separate our water and sewer funds. All those in favor, let it be known by the sign of aye.
Aye.
And those opposed, the same. Okay, motion carried. Mobile home, and mobile park ordinance. So we talked about this, in the, planning and zoning board. They didn't take any action on that. They, said that's a problem, well, not really necessarily a problem, but it's something that falls underneath what our board of mayor and aldermen, should do. And we're in the process now of redoing our ordinances. So what we need to do is decide what we want those mobile homes, to look like going forward. And, everything from whether we're gonna allow used double wides to be brought in, or we're gonna say that, yeah, you put a double wide in, but it has to be a new one. So we're gonna have to decide what we want our mobile home, parks to look like going forward. And we don't like what we see now. So, but we gotta put it in our ordinance, and that'll give us some teeth, and we can enforce it from there.
But can I say something?
Yes.
As far as the mobile homes go, I wouldn't necessarily rule out used mobile homes, but they should be up to a certain year.
Yeah.
Up to a certain standard.
Well, yeah, and we talked about that, so that's something that you know, the board will have to, we'll put that in place, and everyone that desired to bring a used mobile home in, our building inspector will have to inspect it to make sure it's up to code.
Right.
Not as some have been doing as of late, they've been dragging some pieces of junk that was given to them just to move it.
Yeah.
And
Load it
then they
up.
get here and start working on it. We can't have that. That's going against everything that we said we were gonna do, so. But what we're gonna do is we're going to put together our mobile home ordinance, and then we'll be looking to you guys for some direction in terms of what we're gonna allow.
Okay, I know this doesn't, we're talking about double wides, but what about single wides? I know the single wides has always been like grandfathered in. If you remove one, you can put one back in. So are we gonna change this, or what are we gonna do?
That's gonna stay the same, but you're gonna have to have, it still has to be
Sorry,
Right.
up to standard.
up to
I
standard,
understand.
yes,
Right.
right.
Okay.
And a big part of that is, the underpinning. And in our code now, it states that the underpinning should be a certain kind that we don't see. It either supposed to be brick, or, I think there's brick, there's block, and then there's another type of metal, again, that does not rust. Well, we see a little bit of everything, you know, on some of the mobile home now, so.
But if you're putting brick or whatever underneath it, wouldn't that be a stationary home then, not a mobile home? 'Cause you're
Not
putting-
necessarily, yeah, but that's what most municipalities are requiring them to bring in new mobile homes. If you set them up, that's the way they want to set up. And they're requiring that.
Manufacture residential dwellings, that's the ones that we're talking about.
Yeah. But,
Would this be retroactive to the current homes that are already here?
we gotta work with them and get them to fix theirs up, clean them up and make them, and bring them up to par.
Yeah, but you'd be surprised.
But all the new ones moving in,
How much do you
we
get
put
paid
some
for
things in
them?
the ordinance, what we want them to look like going
Yeah.
forward.
People, they pay rent. I don't see.
But they're substandard.
Ooh.
Yeah,
I mean,
actually, they probably paying too much
Oh, yeah.
for what they living in.
No, no.
So you have to go over to, go after the owners.
you know,
Yeah.
and I know they have a housing issue, but, you
Yeah,
know,
like up on Web Street, we look at those and we look at them as double wide, but when they were brought in, they were called modular.
Modular
homes.
homes, that's still,
And
that's,
that means that it was better,
It's because they take
plywood,
the
better
axles off
bones
of
and stuff.
modular, when they have a trailer, they take the axles off, that makes it the modular, it's not movable no more.
Right, right.
all right, well,
So, we're gonna put together a mobile home ordinance.
we're gonna start working on that. I'm already looking at our ordinances and figuring out.
This is
I will,
Recommendations from the Compton firm? Who's this from?
No,
no,
that's just for you to
This is
review
just-
what we
that
have.
B part was,
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
But this is just for our information, so we can start thinking about how we want that to look, read. Okay, library public comment,
I need to address that, that's not supposed to be for the library, that is supposed to be for this board, because, what it is the state is now wanting us as the library to have a public announcement. And what it was is they told us to go by the city, ordinance, and y'all didn't have one. So, of the public announcement thing, and y'all didn't have a public announcement one. So, my board, my library board is supposed to adopt whatever y'all's are. And y'all didn't have one.
And this is the ordinance that we need to adopt.
I don't know, that was just,
Okay.
that was just something that Jackson had done, and Jackson had based theirs off of the Jackson ordinances. So, that's mostly what that is. So I needed y'all to adopt one so that then I could adopt that
Okay.
with ours, okay?
okay? Well,
Second. Did you make a motion?
No. No.
I make a motion that we adopt this as the first reading for the ordinance for the library board.
I second.
motion's been made and met with the second that we, consider this the first reading of the, adopting this, ordinance for our library. All those in favor, let it be known by the sign of aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Okay, motion carried. Okay. And you took the bill charge after last day of payment, first reading. Okay. Y'all aware of that?
It says utility bill, is that water or electricity, what was that?
Yeah,
Water, water, sewer. Water and sewer.
yeah. we're gonna do it.
This one wastewater, transport, something.
To make adjustments.
Yeah.
Utility bill,
No,
service charge.
no, that we're talking about the first reading of the, utility bill charge after the last day of payment, which
That's
is,
not in there, that's what Matthew is, the
Okay.
disconnect.
yeah, so, okay, just explain what that is, and I think we were talking about it earlier, just explain what we're talking about in terms
So
of.
when you guys met with the Community Unlimited,
Mhm.
and, the suggestion is to increase our
Yeah,
disconnect or service charge, because they recommend that it's just simply too low. So our prior dollars is 100, and I know some of us is pretty high, but the recommendation right now is $75.
It's currently $25,
Yes.
the lowest any,
yeah, we got the lowest.
yeah, so,
Correct.
now, you know, like Miss Annie, when she held that, workshop with us, says, you
Yeah,
know,
we got it.
this deters, many
Right.
times it becomes a deterrent to those folk who would just let theirs, you know,
Just go, anyhow.
yeah,
Mhm.
so maybe, you know, and, you know, frankly, it does need
Yeah, it does.
changing, so,
Yeah.
so the amount, you know, that's what we're looking at, what amount that, you know, think we need to adopt, you know.
Well, you're getting charged by the city, and then you're getting charged by the billing service. Cause it costs me $100 to get my water transferred.
Do you think we need to take it to 100?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
I said, you think we need to take it to 100?
No, sir, I absolutely do not.
I agree.
I don't know how y'all make a living, but I work for a living.
Well, we all do.
Yeah.
We all
Yeah.
work, we all work.
We're working, folks.
And it
Yeah.
ain't nobody paying my bills but me, so.
Nobody
yeah.
paying ours, yeah, we're responsible for our own.
But then
However,
you said it's $25, and then you said you paid $100.
Well, that
Can you
did,
bring this
that did
together?
include the bill,
Oh.
that they didn't send me a bill for. So I paid the bill, and they added late fees and charges and everything, it ended up costing me $100. And my water bill was only $32. So it cost me $70 to get it turned back.
So what's $25? You were saying something was $25, that was Whiteville, you said Somerville was 75.
No,
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 There,
I'm
there,
saying
Tom.
our recommendation 75, I said Bolivar's was 100.
Okay.
Reconnection fee.
Yeah,
Well, that's what
reconnection
I
fee.
was told, now I didn't ask.
Well, if you pay it on the first of the month, I guess we won't have to worry about reconnection.
Yeah, right, yeah.
And so you passed the 15th.
Well,
That's a big jump.
You got
I mean, you
that
could be
is,
jumping.
a lot of
you gotta look
people
at
don't
ours
pay
is the lower
till
than any
the
town
13th,
around.
and sometimes it's.
I mean, anytime, Whiteville is the lowest, $25.
And we
I
are
mean,
small.
we need to make some revenue, some kind of
Well,
way.
everything's going up, but our paychecks, my paycheck's not going up, but y'all's, y'all gonna ask for a raise here tonight, so
yeah.
maybe that'll work for
that's
y'all,
for
that doesn't work
the
for me.
town, bro. It's not for the person.
Mine will kick in in 2026.
Well, I mean, it's not.
Yeah.
I'm
I don't never have them like.
You have a question, sir? Okay, yes,
Yeah, well, $25, disconnecting fee, $25 connected back.
reconnect, yes.
Yeah, and then you look at Baldwin, you look at Somerville, and we're really small compared to them. So why don't we just take the 25 and double the 25 to 50, and going to 75 and 100, that's too ambitious. And I know people should pay their water bill.
But that's what we're talking about. We only pay your water bill, you know?
And they do when they get a bill.
Well, I mean, you know, we're all in the same boat when it comes to billing. Because like I didn't get mine, but I took the initiative to find out what the bill was
Me too.
and paid it, so, but
you got them days, you wait out
Yeah.
there on the field, it's over.
Yeah, I mean, from the first.
Still a whole lot of time.
Yeah.
I get up here, but I know I got.
I think it was just after that Labor Day.
It was after Labor Day. And, you know, and it's not like this happen all the
No, it don't
time.
happen all the time.
Yeah,
Cause I didn't get a light bill.
but we
We
can't,
called Southwest and found out what it was and paid it over the phone.
we can't
So,
take
cause I know
responsibility.
we had a light
This
bill,
is the second
but
time.
we had to get the bill. So sometimes things like that happen.
Asking.
I pay nine.
So board, what are y'all's recommendation?
Oh, that's the recommendation.
75.
Well, that's what I'm asking.
75?
So,
Debbie?
Mayor, you have a lot of low-income families that live in this. Why can't you just gradually, like, add 25 this year and then add the other 25 next year? That way they get used to that. Cause you have a lot of low-income.
What is it,
Sometimes they.
It's 25.
Everybody's not getting cut off, and
No,
it's usually the
The
same.
fee to reconnect, yeah.
Oh,
If
okay.
it's your very
Yeah,
first
as long as
time
you-
and I know about it, we don't even cut it off, and we should.
Mhm.
So it's really those that repeat,
Repeat
and a lot of the
offenders,
elderly
right.
that pay theirs, to be
Okay.
honest.
I'm
They
just
pay
thinking
their
of the ones
bills.
that know.
They actually pay their bills.
Well, I'm not taking, this lady side or anything, but if she paid her bill for the last 15 months, y'all didn't take it into consideration to find out what happened to her, why she didn't pay her, y'all just cut it off. So don't say you take nothing into consideration.
I wasn't aware, usually they will bring me everybody and get permission, but I wasn't aware of her this time. So, like I said.
So board, 50 or 75?
I say 50.
They go
Well,
with 50.
well,
I say
since y'all
Then-
here coming on recognition, so we gonna go with it.
Yeah.
Somebody, okay,
What does it entail? What do they actually have to do to reconnect? What's
They come right
involved?
by your house.
They don't do-
Cut it back on, take the lock off.
they don't do anything more.
And this thing takes the action, just throw it in the.
Cut it back on, take the lock off.
Thing back on top.
Yeah.
You got to try to find your
You're
contact.
sending someone out there
Find
to
nobody.
do this work.
It is a reconnection.
It's a connection
It
fee.
should be, because it's after hours.
And, yeah.
Well, tell your people when they take that lid off of
Take
there,
that one out.
to put it back on, because they just threw mine up in the yard.
I have no idea why they would do that.
I don't either.
So,
No, I ain't putting on school.
could we entertain a motion,
I make a motion.
To make that
we go
$50.
From 25 to 50.
Second motion.
okay, the motion's been made, met with a second that we, extend that, reconnect fee from $25 to $50. All those in favor, let it be known by the sign of aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, the same. All right, $50, okay. All right, food warmer rental and deposit usage charge.
So, we have at the senior citizen building, the food warmer, the special, connection got put in where we can plug it in the wall and everything. So it's ready for use, but it's up to you, but if there's a deposit for someone that may take our pans or may break it, whatever you decide for them to rent and find it.
When will the city system be open again?
We're looking at October the 9th at the moment.
So what we're saying with this food warmer rental and deposit usage charge, how do you,
So you're talking about renting the building out,
Rent
Plus-
the warmer.
and plus
They
the
want
warmers
to
and
rent
stuff, they
the
want
warmer.
that
They
to be
don't
an
have
extra
to
charge.
rent it. Right. They
It'll
don't
be
have to
extra
rent it.
if you use it.
they don't have to use it?
If you don't use it.
Don't use it, you don't have to pay that rent.
Then if they do use it, do you have somebody to go by and check it after they use it to make sure that it's still operating properly?
That's,
And
yeah,
clean.
So,
And they clean and they're all parts.
yeah, right.
Are y'all talking about a hall or something that you rent out and provide?
Yes.
Yes.
Where is that?
It's down there.
Right
Yeah, it's called the
Right past
Elder
the city hall.
Citizen Building.
How expensive is the foot warmer? What's the price of that device?
And we just had the price of the device,
It cost a couple of thousand.
yeah.
Why did we purchase it?
If the state buy that up, y'all, why bought it?
The city bought
The
it,
city
but,
has to pay for it.
it has to be
I'm not
taken
sure.
care of, that's the thing.
Why did we purchase it though? Did we purchase it just for the city's use and the senior citizens use, or did we?
Are y'all sure that the city bought it?
Yeah.
My daughter worked for Southwest and they was talking about purchasing for all the senior citizens.
Well, the only way we would, the Southwest would do it, it'd be through a grant.
Yeah.
You know,
They didn't do it.
yeah, that'd be the only way we could get it from Southwest.
I mean, we already got it.
But I'm
It's
saying,
not- Oh, okay.
yeah,
But will it stay at the facility or is it for rent?
No, each senior citizen got a one,
Okay.
each one.
But it'll stay there at the
Yes.
facility.
Well, I don't know anything about it, but we did, y'all did it as a board for a
But why did y'all get one, is what Ms. Debbie
Right,
said?
it wasn't for the senior citizens, not that I know of that.
no, for those people who
Right.
rent the building for their usage.
Okay. So it will stay at the facility,
But it's there, yeah.
but it will stay there, it won't be like.
Right,
Right,
right, it was there.
yeah.
So it'd be like if they rented that building for a reception, they could pay an extra charge and use the warmer.
Right, instead of bringing their own, and then if, you know, if we make sure it's cleaned up and stuff, they can get their deposit back on.
Do y'all have a
Make sure it's
city
working.
employee that's responsible for going and checking on that after?
We have
Yeah,
some
then-
board members that.
Yes,
Yeah.
we have someone.
I don't know, I'm just opposed to that. I mean, I realize that the person, but you gotta get the citizens a wife or something. I mean, I realize that $2,000 ain't a whole lot of money. We gotta get a citizen something, so why are we charging them? We charging them to use the building. Why are we charging them to use a warmer? Come on.
It should go with the deposits.
I mean, no, shouldn't even go with the car. We gotta
Go
get a
with the
citizen
deposit.
something.
You go in and inspect it, if it's not there, you don't use the deposit that.
I'm pretty sure.
It's very
I don't
clean
think
and
they-
everything.
Well, if they take that out, then.
Ain't my computer.
I'm just saying, you go in there
I
and
mean,
make sure it's
I'm just
clean.
looking, I mean, whatever.
The right thing, like you said, if it goes with the deposit that you already put down, then once you go in there and check it,
Yeah.
if it's not clean, then they don't get
You
the
get the
deposit
deposit
back.
back, yeah.
But if everything is clean and ordered, then you get your deposit
Yeah,
back.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
That
It
makes
do
But
make
it's still
sense.
charging because of.
How much
the
are we,
burn.
how much is the deposit now to rent the senior citizen building?
It's a hundred.
$100.
How much?
100.
Why not
You
just
get
make it
100 back.
125 then for the deposit, and the warmer goes along with it?
It's more than 100 rent, you pay
It's
$250.
$100
We get
deposit.
$100.
Get $100 back,
But I'm
yeah.
saying, she asked how much was it to rent, with the rent, you pay your $100 deposit, then you pay your other money when you go pick up your key.
But you
And
clean it
if
up,
it's
you
right,
get
you
$100
get the $100
back.
back.
Get $100
$100
back.
Yeah, but
How much is the
$250.
rent? $150 plus $100.
The total is, but you get $100 back. If
Everybody
it's
paying different
clean.
prices, I guess.
I guess so. But, you know, to me,
You
just,
see what I'm
just,
saying,
okay.
it's make it up, instead of $100 deposit, makes
I
$125.
just think they need a job, you know,
Cause
like
it's
I
where they gonna
said,
get
they
it back.
clean.
And they,
If it's
they're
clean,
gonna
then
clean it,
you know,
still
they
get
might
$900.
get $100.
back.
All right, so what's the consensus of the board, that we leave it as it is and just make sure that that the warmer is checked and inspected after each usage?
That's the motion I would make.
Yeah, I second that motion. Because most people they can't afford the $100.
Those people can't work.
They got a business in rent, because they rent other event centers and pay a lot more.
Yeah.
I know for a fact they do.
That's the cheapest, really.
You wanna find them?
Yeah,
That's why everybody.
I'm not concerned about our citizens, that's all
But
I'm
this
saying.
said it's $650.
I mean, we can give them something, we raising them
No,
everything, so we can give them
it's
something.
$650 to use that. And we can charge them
So,
I
so,
mean, what, how cheap can you go?
Whatever the board will.
so put that in the form of a motion if you wanted to leave it as it is and
I
just.
move that we leave it as it is, and if they, if it's not clean, no, they finish with them, we keep the product.
That's right, they go along with it.
Okay. All right,
If
so
they
that's the
use it.
motion.
That's the motion.
Okay, do we have a second?
I do.
All right, so we have a motion met with a second that the, fee remain the same. And upon inspection, if the, warmer is clean, then, they get that deposit back.
We don't have to include that in our contract now, though.
It'd be the same if they didn't clean the center, they wouldn't get the deposit.
Yeah,
That's
that's
just
right.
big,
That would be added
that would be
into-
added, so they'll know.
Yeah, you do need to have that in writing.
We'll
Yeah,
we'll put that in the contract that they sign when they rent. So, all those in favor, you know, by the side of aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Okay. Okay. All right. And the next, thing on the agenda, the full-time mayor and, Alderman Taylor.
So it's in your packet, so, it's up to you guys to know that if you are going to make any changes, it has to be done before the elections. And the next election, there's 3 aldermen, so if you do decide on those 3 aldermen, we get those changes, and then the next set, when theirs is up, we just have to remind you. You can't just do it any kind of way. And the numbers, if you want to change them, that's in the blanks, that's up to you. That is, the mayor's recommendation, so, there you go.
I know we talked about it. I
Right.
So what?
Depending on whoever else running, like, Ms. Olsen and myself, we have to wait till 2026 before we.
That's,
You're right.
That's right.
Those are bad times.
Those are some last
So I would have to wait.
That's where you went. But anyway,
you don't have to decide now.
How did you come up with the, 2916 for
That's
the mayor?
That's his recommendation. Like I said, y'all can't change, but you don't have to decide tonight, but just letting you know it has to be before the election.
I mean,
that is the amount, that's the breakdown, the amount that we talked about,
Yeah.
before,
Okay.
the annual salary.
That's a month, not a, okay.
Yeah, that's one.
Well, I think it needs to be at least 3,000. That'd be $750 a week. And then you got the mayor going every which way.
That's right, doing
Honestly,
everything.
I mean, it's worth that, it's worth every penny.
Go ahead.
And the phone ball right all day long.
All day long.
So just remember that when we do the budget and the, tax. like-
You'll remind me.
Yeah, we go around again. Remember, we gotta have the money in there before we do.
Yeah.
That's not the 36,000 a year, and we've already painted what do you call, what was Mark's job?
Oh, we've had a lot.
His was up to
Lot of
42,000.
changes in the general fund as a total. And nobody.
He was a city manager.
Right, and he was already up to 42,
Yeah.
so I make a motion that we change it to 3,000 on the mayor, and that leaves it 36,000 start off.
When y'all have an election for mayor and alderman,
Well, let me write it back.
are all the aldermen not running at the same time?
No, it's staggered,
What's the,
that's
what's
staggered.
the purpose for that?
Me and
Well,
Ernest and
it's written in
Tommy,
the,
I
it's
think,
written in
running
the
that.
It's law,
ordinance,
state law.
it's a state law that you don't have them all
At the same time.
coming up for election on the same year.
That way there's no chance of a whole brand new board.
Board, brand new,
Right.
that would not be
That makes
good, yeah, so that, it does make
When is
sense.
the next election?
Next year, no.
August of
Mr.
next,
Eddie, can you repeat that?
August
3,000
next
for
year.
the mayor, what was the second?
$3,000 a month times 12, it comes out to $36,000 start-off pay.
Oh, okay, you didn't go to the next, okay, just a minute.
Yeah.
Okay.
What's the current?
And then the, 125, did you not
You
include
almost
the,
You almost going for nothing.
It's pretty much, I'm working free.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're about free.
that Mr. Jubilee, doesn't he make more than that?
I was retired prior to
He's
coming
straight.
here, that's the only way
Well,
I
it's-
can earn a
it's-
living,
it's
so I was
worded in
retired.
there for the treasurer.
No,
Do you have a salary?
yeah,
What is it?
5,000 a year,
A year?
yeah,
500 a month,
yeah.
time taxes and everything, about 350.
That's terrible.
Exactly, that's why I'm trying to do something about
Oh, I don't live off
it. He doesn't live off of it,
Wow.
he's retired.
I hate to break it to you, but you're doing, charity work.
Oh, yeah, I know that.
Sometimes, yeah.
We all do.
Yeah,
Because it's a small community.
yeah.
It's not a small
But do we pay the treasurer extra, do we pay the vice mayor extra too?
No, ma'am.
And why is that?
We never, it's never been written in ordinance, it's just,
Well, I think it should be as much as the treasurer.
Get ordinance. Thank you.
Treasurer pays what, 25 extras? He gets 125 now?
Well, you can't, are you up for,
So, no, we.
Y'all
No, they're not up, it's me and Ernest
We just did
and
our first year last month.
So-
Month late.
even if you wanted
so
to
hers
do it,
can't,
you can't
hers
do it.
change unless you change her from being vice mayor.
Yeah.
It's gonna have to be, whoever's needed,
I'm not understanding why.
cause you can't change it in the middle of your term.
Well, no, I'm talking about when she runs again, I mean, when everybody can get this. I mean, like if our pay goes up to 125, Mr. Jimmy Lee's ought to be going up to 150.
But
and-
his can't right now either, cause he was in the last election.
Right, but
Right.
in 2026,
Yeah,
if we vote it
2026.
now, we can go up, is what I'm saying. Right?
Well, I think ours should be double, so we can catch up with them.
You know, you can make that recommendation for in 2025, right?
26.
Because you would be up for reelection in
Right.
25, but when you go into
We're
effect.
effective 26.
Right.
Mhm.
Now, so if you're making that recommendation for my pay increase right now, then it wouldn't go into effect until after I won the election.
Right.
Until after,
Or the next.
Until after the next.
until after I'm elected next year.
But we also
So,
need
but
to put
first-
in there, this is a full-time position.
Right.
Mhm.
Full-time position.
Or we won't have the same mess we had last time.
So after speaking with our advisor from MTS, what is determined full-time for the mayor could be exactly what he's doing now. So that's just the,
Word, I mean, a word,
I
but
mean,
it really doesn't
word.
mean anything.
but the salary is what you need. to-
Exactly.
yeah.
And task gave us that, you know, and told us
That's the
that,
word.
that's the way that's set up.
Okay.
I mean,
Did he give you like hours a week or?
I mean,
No. No, and so he kind of just laid it out to us this way. Some mayors may come in, they may not choose to come in at all, you know who you got, pretty much. And if I would, do something that, outrageous, to say, well, I'm on this salary now, I'm not coming in, then y'all would not choose me to be your mayor at the next election, obviously. Yeah, but you would be pretty much stuck.
The board would have to fire you if you didn't come in.
And you can't do that, because I'm elected by the citizens. unless I've done something that's,
Well, that's why I think, ask them, Tess, and if
That's
we
what-
need to put 40 hours out there beside him.
that's who we were getting that's who we got the information
Okay.
from.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we're not the first town to have to deal with that. That's, yeah. Bolivar mayor had to do the same thing, he went through that with him. He worked
Well, I
his
know,
first
we have
term.
discussed this for,
I think he was
over
getting
2
about
years,
6,000 a year.
That's all.
Yeah, but,
Go ahead and vote on it,
well, but 3 will be affected, I mean, if
I mean,
y'all, if y'all.
let it go, them three.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
All right, I make a motion, we raise the mayor's full-time position to 3,000 a month and 125 on the alderman's.
Yeah, second.
okay.
Second.
All right, the motion's been made and met with a second that we, adopt these, said increases on the mayor's salary and the pay of the aldermen. All those in favor, let it be known by the sign of aye.
Aye.
Those contrary, the same. Okay, those opposed? All right, motion carried. So, the John subdivision street name change resolution.
Where is this at?
Okay, that, I think she added that to the new agenda.
It's on the new agenda.
When the,
Where's the subdivision?
That ordinance that was on your tape,
Yeah, she made these out for you.
Yeah.
they just want to
Oh,
change the name.
they just want to change the name.
Change the name.
And of course, they got with 911 and got that done. And using the current names and then the proposed names. So, this would be considered the first reading of that name change.
This is over on Webster, correct?
Yes.
What do we need to do?
Just recognize this as a motion, that this be
Make a
recognized.
motion that we accept this.
Make a motion, we accept it as our first read.
Okay. So, Ms. Debbie, you made that motion?
Yes.
Okay.
Second.
All right, the motion has been made and met with a second that we consider this John's subdivision street change, name change. We recognize this as the first reading.
What are you changing it to?
What the
The name that the
Different
developer
colors.
wanted to have there. Yeah,
Jasmine Code, Lindsay Code, or Chris Code, Victoria Code,
yeah,
Julia Code.
okay. So do we have, so we're ready to vote? All those in favor, let me know by the side of aye. Those opposed? All right, motion carried. Okay. Christmas bonuses, you saw them.
We have 2 different sheets,
Yeah,
so if you look, the yellow is the highlighted difference.
They were already in our budget, correct?
Mhm.
Any room for wiggle in it?
wait a
Not
minute.
too much.
No.
If somebody, you know, like I was talking about once before, if somebody has been here for 20 years, I think they ought to be up to 1,500 at least. Instead of just straight out, you know, after you do 10 years, you automatically just get 1,000, that's it. I think at 15 years and above, or 20 years and above, you ought to at least get 1,500.
What are you getting
I
now?
almost got some extra money in the budget.
I know, but you're talking about raising it, I wanted to know what you're getting now.
These are for our workers for Christmas.
Oh, okay.
Christmas
Okay.
bonuses.
Okay,
Christmas
said that.
Yeah, it's been ongoing for, you know, a while.
Christmas bonfire for city employees.
Just like, for instance, Ramsey was here for what, 30-something years? All he ever got was $1,000. I mean,
Well, then-
when you got, you know,
That's
the
the
same
color.
person's been here 10 years,
Yeah.
only $29,000.
Something like that.
Frank's got it for 30 years. It wasn't like he got
Okay,
this,
that's
he got his bonus 30 years.
$1,000 would be good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
But what about the supervisors, man? The people that are in charge?
It's just, this is about
They just
the years,
received
it's
the
not
same.
about
Same thing.
who you are.
So what do you think about the
Why would
recommendation
the
right there?
supervisor receive the same thing as the regular workers? I'm just asking.
Yeah.
Why would the
That's what I was
supervisor
thinking.
receive the same thing as regular workers when you have got authority over others? Usually, you get a little more than they do, but if you put everybody in together, I mean, what's the point? I'm just asking a question.
Well, my son was along the same line, but I understand. This is where we did it last year, right?
I don't think we've got
And the year
anybody
before.
approaching, well, maybe 20 years, but.
Who was that?
He's leaving, so.
He retired anyway.
Yeah. That's
I've
all.
been doing that for 30 years.
Oh, he-
Retired, yeah.
No, he's already put his paperwork in.
Just
Oh,
paperwork
yeah.
that you got.
Yeah.
he
I
was
tried to
just
talk him out of it.
I know.
I worked at Western for 31 years, this guy put the ball in the game up.
Probably church.
Nothing.
A lot of people.
I
So I,
$1,000, pretty good.
it's pretty good.
Yeah.
So I think we're good. I mean, I'm just, one recommendation that we, you know. Of course, it's up to you
I'll make a
guys.
motion that we accept the Christmas bonus as is.
Which
Yeah, I
one?
second.
That two different ones, which one?
Stay like it is.
Like-
Big as that.
So we're doing Christmas bonus only, for the employees. Let me see, what's the other? And, we're doing, what's your recommendation about the contractors? These people work,
Work
Hayes Aaron
part-time
is our, building inspector.
Okay.
Cornelius Allen, he's, that works for our, sewer system. And Cameron Brown is the guy that worked, for our Facebook,
Okay,
you might say, public relations person.
So this the recommendation that the 250, that we get him 250?
Part-time get to.
Yeah.
These, highlighted in yellow.
I make a motion that we give them the second page, the contractors and all.
The contracts along with, okay. All right. Okay then, all right.
We get contracts and the same thing. And then our fire chief who just been here, we just getting him. And we're gonna give contract the same thing we're gonna give him. That's why I said the supervisor should get
Well,
a little bit more.
you can't, you gotta have some,
You don't have but 2 or 3. Yeah, actually, you ain't got but 2. Then the feds, fire chief, well, Ben, you gotta give him $1,000 some.
Yeah, I see what you're saying, I said it all along that when I worked for them, but they say it is what it is, it's the years that you put in.
I realize it. Okay.
and nothing against the fire chief, but he just hadn't been here that long, that's what, you know.
He's part-time,
Yeah.
once you make him full-time, it'd be different.
Is our fire department all volunteer?
Yes,
Yes.
Well, they do a wonderful job.
They do,
exactly,
they do,
Okay.
and, you know,
and there's our fire chief.
yeah, and he'll get up in a few minutes, but
Good
we,
job.
yeah, we
The house
applaud
was
him.
good for me first
Yeah.
time.
I made the motion, he seconded it, all in
I
favor?
All
woke
right.
up, woke up at 3:30.
A motion been made, that was second, that,
No, I mean, you did, exactly.
that we recognize the bonuses that have been, presented. All those in favor, let me know by the sign of aye.
I grew up here then.
Those opposed, motion carried. All right.
Have you always been a resident of Whiteville?
While we just
Have
talking.
you always been a resident of Whiteville?
Utility adjustments, charge off.
And after that, we'll pay our bill, but utility adjustment adjustment in charge off
Make a motion to charge the facilities bill.
So, okay. Charge them all off. So, okay, do we have a second to that?
Second motion.
All right, motion's been made and second that, we, recognize our utility bill adjustments and charge off. All those in favor, let it be known by the sign of aye. Aye. And those opposed, motion
But
carried.
who are we making adjustments in charge of?
People just walked out.
We have to do something when people leave town.
It's turned over to our collection agent.
But then they had to have a deposit down before they got services. What happened to
We
them?
don't do
We don't do
deposits.
that.
You don't?
Right.
I paid a deposit.
You pay the
Connection fee.
So what's the difference in
You don't,
deposit
we
and?
don't do deposits. We haven't done that.
So that's why.
So you don't get connection, you don't get the connection fee back,
That's why they turned my water off, but.
So that's why if you move in Whiteville to another place, you pay $75 over.
No,
Uh,
you can have it transferred.
no.
And I'm sure there's a
They
transfer
pay the
fee.
$75 over.
We don't have a $75 fee, ours.
She's talking about a connection fee, and if you move from one
It's like
house
one fee
to another,
one, are you talking about the transfer?
Is that what you call them a transfer?
I'm trying to figure out, is you talking about brand new service, or you
Right.
talking about from house to house?
Brand new service.
Where my
It's
house
150.
burnt, and I moved over here
I
on
think it's
Main Street, y'all
150.
transferred.
150.
I can't remember.
You didn't have to pay no more, did you?
Didn't have to pay no more.
Well, some people do. I think y'all got a clique going on.
Well, you need to sit down and understand the ways city government work.
Ain't got no clicking.
Now, if you was to move from
I don't know about it. Yeah, I
Main
wanna know.
Street,
I
they
wanna know
transfer it. But you've already paid your
Anyway.
connection fee.
They just transferred it to the new
Okay.
address.
Pay invoices.
I didn't do it, but I did a bill.
Make my sure pay our bills.
All right.
I said,
All right, the motion's been made, met with the second, that we pay, recognize the paid invoices.
You know, it's getting bigger and bigger.
All those in favor, let it be known by the sign of aye. Those opposed, motion carried. Okay, we're gonna have, at this time, we're gonna have a report from officers. We don't have, Ben's not here.
Your, it's in the
It
packet.
is in the
but
packet.
it's not here.
Okay.
And I'd like to express on the behalf of the police department, since I'm not police commissioner, but anyway, somebody could appoint me again.
All
But
right.
anyway, they have been working
That's the
very
one.
hard, as you can see. Also,
They have.
too, we had the murder here in Whiteville, and they took care of it. They've got 3 in custody as of now, and they've got the,
Who was murdered and where?
on Webster, on the 4th or 5th of September. Drive-by shooting, shot and killed a boy. 3 of them were caught. 1 is still at large, and the, what you call it? Marshals, US Marshals are actually looking for him. And they do have a, bounty out on him.
Okay.
2,500, so I want y'all to know that they are doing a fantastic job.
They are, yeah.
yeah.
And you can also look on here and you can see the, what they've been messing with drugs and everything on the streets, alcohol, everything.
But
Yeah.
they're doing a fantastic job, but just to hit on the school zone,
Yes,
They're
ma'am,
not
I'm very
doing
upset it
fantastic.
goes out.
that come through, they're doing 45, 50 at any time of the day, not just even when school is letting out. Traffic is flying through there, and they're not doing a fantastic job there, even though we got officers at the school. They still come through there flying, and no tickets being given out there.
Most of them.
Both lights are broke.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just
Yeah.
saying, in traffic, they don't slow down for the
They
school.
don't.
By the law of Tennessee, you cannot stop a car if the lights are not flashing or anything, even though it is a school zone.
Yeah.
But it did hear that the state was gonna go in there and mark school zone on the
pavement,
road.
On the, yes,
Plus two, they're supposed to be fixing both
both
Lights.
lights.
Yeah, that's the problem right there.
that's ongoing,
That's the problem.
yeah. Those
Mm.
lights.
Yeah, but something needs to be done, cause they speed.
Yeah, well, you know, when I was up there, you know, I always was sitting in there. And
Right.
if one was just working, I could only work that side of that road.
Right.
But if both of them were working, I could use both roads. But once they went down, I couldn't ride them.
So, okay. Matt, you, got the report?
And speaking of the police department, I want to say something about the fire department. They're fantastic.
Yes, they are.
Yeah, they are.
Thank y'all, good evening.
Hey.
Along with your regular report, I just have a couple things.
Okay.
We have upcoming event on October 14th. We're working with the Red Cross out of Jackson. They're wanting to do a get alarmed event. It's putting smoke alarms in that have been donated by the state or by the Red Cross. It's not with the fire marshal's office. We have a program with the fire marshal's office that we do go out and install smoke alarms when we can. But this is more of a canvassing, several densely populated, like this, the trailer park on Simmons, the one on Webb.
What number do we call if we need a fire alarm, or we know
If you
somebody
leave.
that needs one?
You can call,
City Hall.
City Hall, and they can get in touch with us. And it's kind of limited on when we can do it, with us, me being there a couple hours a week. But I'm trying to get that service back up, but October the 14th, we're gonna be out. If you wanna make a note of it, contact, the City Hall and just let them know that you do want.
Will they come in and check, make sure the ones you have are working?
We normally just do installation, but, we can probably, if you call up there, I can come in and, if you call in, I can come in and, check, see if how they're, but normally you should hear a chirp if
And tell me your name again.
Matthew Graver. But anyway, we're, planning on meeting at the fire department on the morning of October 14th. It's also the day of the Fire Prevention Festival in Bolivar, so I'm kind of splitting the fire department. I'm gonna have a couple guys, depending on how many I can get to come. I'm gonna try to fill his first, and then whatever we have, we'll send to Bolivar, take a truck or two up there, on that Saturday. I'm coordinating with the Red Cross on like cordless drills and step ladders, forms and stuff that we need to fill out. Basically, all I am needing is a few more volunteers. If y'all know of anybody that, would like to help, they're welcome to come up at, 8:30, 9 o'clock in the morning. We'll be at the station eating donuts and coffee and,
But Tommy already been there, so.
He definitely be.
My anniversary.
I would, but
Did we
I
ever
got,
get our new
certain.
fire trucks
That's fine.
in? Did we ever get the new fire truck?
We don't yet, I've been contacting Deep South. They're the ones that are providing the fire truck, or building the fire truck. They're having problems getting, a chassis. International is just having a shortage, trying to catch up from the supply chain. Prices that they've been having, can't get chips for anything, and so it's just really hard to get a chassis right now, so. Deep South they're gonna check with me, check back with me this week, whether or not they can chassis this month.
Okay.
And, they said something about maybe more, but we'll see.
March, okay.
And then nothing has been said yet about the other grant that we put in for the other truck.
Yeah, we haven't,
We
once that, we won't really know for sure that we haven't got it until that grant closes.
Okay.
Until then, we'll keep checking periodically.
Okay. All right, thank you, Matt.
Yep, thank you.
Okay. All right. Glenda, you line ready?
Well, it sounds like it's gonna be an easy day because we're also having a solar eclipse event at the library. It's
Oh,
gonna
yeah.
start at 11 o'clock and be from whatever, but we'll have hot dogs and, the kids can do, sidewalk chalk stuff, things with shadows and stuff like that.
Okay.
Okay, it'll just last till, whenever they get gone. Yeah, 12:30, 1 o'clock, just, something like that.
All right.
And then on the 21st at 6 o'clock, I was gonna add, the International Moon Observation Night. Both of these programs are through NASA, and so we'll, the kids can come and, look at the moon, observe the moon, and, we'll do the Oreo cookie moon faces. We'll just more or less have snacks that night.
Okay.
Okay, and then, of course, the dog park is the next Saturday. That's not with the library, but.
Okay, all right, good. All right. Any of your board members have anything? No?
I have a question, about the old pictures and stuff, like, museum wise. Why don't we have something up, when we used to walk in, you would see old pictures of Whiteville, the first mayor of Whiteville, or stuff like that. Where are those pictures? What happened to them?
They up at City Hall when you walk in the foyer.
I just see the new ones, I don't see the old
When you
ones.
walk in the foyer, the very front.
Yeah.
And then we have some down the hallway.
They're all posted, yeah.
We have up what we have.
Yeah,
Cause I used to see them, but I haven't
and
seen
there
them.
may have been some
I haven't
more,
seen them.
but we don't know where they are now.
The old, yeah, you know, like the history of Whiteville. That's
Yeah,
all.
they're up
Yeah.
when you walk through the first set of doors and look at the.
Why we don't put some over here, all this wall over here? I mean, if we don't have room to see, I just like seeing it, and it's just history. I'm
There's
just
some at the
asking
police
the question.
department, when you go to the police department, there's some on the walls there.
There's some up there.
And there's some at the
Yeah,
post
check it.
office.
But that's just old
There's
pictures,
some
she's
in
talking
the
about the mayor's.
Maybe we,
I'm talking about the town.
maybe we'll get a
Town, what?
museum.
Yeah,
one.
something.
Maybe we can get a museum, we'll have all that stuff.
Cafe used to have some.
Yes?
Does Whiteville do anything to honor veterans on Veterans Day?
Yes, ma'am.
There's some at the school.
The school usually have
Program?
a program, and then they're countywide, did we do that last year?
This year, we put
Last
out
year.
flags.
Yeah, so we
I know I went
always,
to one, I guess it was in Bolivar, that armory place.
National Guard.
National
What-
Guard.
what are those?
Yeah, now, that's where we normally go. 'Cause we got a lot of veterans around here. And of course, we have a veteran resource center.
I'd like to be involved in that next year, whoever's in charge of that, if
They
they.
always want volunteers for that, yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Probably gonna have to get up to Kenny, wouldn't you?
Yeah,
Kenny Brown?
Kenny Brown.
His
Kenny
office is
Brown?
in the city hall there, his name's Kenny Brown.
Yeah, you know Kenny, okay, yeah.
Grand Hall, Kenny, he's Grand Hall now.
Yeah, oh, is he?
Yeah, as of the 28th.
Okay.
Did you say he's at Grandpa?
He's grandpa,
All
his
right.
son's,
So,
He's my daughter's.
notices, activities, and meetings, City Hall closed early, October the 18th and 19th,
why is that?
1 p.m.
We got a lot of stuff we need to go through and when, I'm sorry, when people are coming in and out and drive through, it kind of directs and plus we don't want to do overtime. So we can get rid of a lot of stuff that's not necessary to be there. Of course, we're gonna look at the manual to keep the proper documents that we're supposed to keep and all of that, and it's a whole lot of stuff.
Okay,
Absolutely.
okay. But you're posting it in the paper and on the city hall and stuff?
Well, we put it on most of the stuff on.
Website.
on Facebook. Where is it?
And so, so Glenda talked about the library, the two observations there, the solar eclipse and then the moon observation. And then we have the dog park grand opening on October the 28th. And, that's
Who's in
at
charge of that?
12 p.m.
Who's in charge of that?
But dog park,
I mean, it's.
Is Glenda in charge or what?
What do you mean, in charge of doing what?
On that particular
Cutting
day.
the grass, or, I mean, there's nothing to
Right.
actually do. Well,
The grand opening,
It's
I
just a
mean.
grand
oh, okay, me and Glenda, we have a partner in the
We're
grand.
gonna get Angie.
Oh, that might talk.
Yeah, they're gonna do something.
Yeah.
Okay.
The dog park is that little area down in the hill there from the library. So we want a grant for that.
Which one of those buildings is the library? There's a big white house and there's another, it's the big white house.
Yes.
is the
First
library.
one you get to.
The first
The
one.
first
The
one.
first house is the library.
The second library.
Yes,
I'm
ma'am.
coming to see you.
Okay.
Next week.
Okay, so trunk or
Is the
treat.
dog park just for walking the dogs and exercising? Is that its purpose?
Yes.
Yes, yeah, you walk your dog and spend time and bond with your dog. You know, like every town has dog parks now.
There's two of them, and one for big dogs, one for
Yeah,
small
it's separated. You got a big dog. If we get to the place where we got that many dogs there, so, you know, keep them separate, so. Small dogs,
Like having a child.
up to 7 pounds, they up to 7 pounds, then beyond that, they go to the big dog, and they got some equipment there, some play equipment.
Oh my
So,
God.
I got vicious dogs.
and of course, I don't have a dog now. No, my little dog died, yeah. He was 13 years old, broke my heart. Yeah, he was a long time. Yeah, in the last year, he was sick a lot, so spent a lot of money on him. Hate to see him go, and I haven't got the nerve to get another one yet, so. But I miss him. I used to walk every day with him.
Every day.
Yeah.
You know, from next door, you know where.
Oh, yeah. That's
it'll
true.
be the hound.
That's true, all kinds of hounds. That's a whole nother story.
Mess with it.
All right, all right.
You gonna let him get one, can't you?
I just want to say, I am so proud to be a resident of Whiteville, and half my neighbors are aldermen. I'm gonna remember that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Where you live at?
There by me?
She live over there.
Stay 2 houses down from my house.
Yeah, yeah.
You bought that house.
Yeah, have Jerry back there, he live over there.
Jerry on the side.
No, that's what cuts grass.
Right
No,
now.
no,
Oh, she know me.
don't be trying to take my.
Yeah, I picture he
Bubba cuts on y'all, don't try to take both of y'all.
Okay.
I don't cut grand.
Yeah.
Bubba ain't able to cut grass.
Okay, so all, as we say in church, all minds clear, we're gonna,
No, look at his
I
wife.
mentioned trunk or treat. So all the, we're gonna take a motion to adjourn, all those in favor, let it be known by the sign of aye.
Aye.
All right, let's get out.